like the cackling hens of the view, this is the Cup of Joe. Hello, everybody. I'm Halo Joe, and welcome to your number one stop of Angels baseball history. What a wonderful Monday to you all, and hopefully a rest of the week as well, right? Boy, I wish we could have won this last series with Houston. That would have been great. It's our first series loss. It's okay. We'll take it. We're doing well. Let's keep it going. We'll get on after the end of the show. We'll get on to what's up ahead this week. But first, we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Chuck Finley. We're going to go over his earlier years before Major League Baseball. Reason why I went that route is because there is another great video on this channel about Chuck Finley that was done about 3 years ago by the great Todd Fox, covering the seasons he had with the Angels, and a very thorough video, really good video. I'll try to see if I can leave the link below for you guys to check that out if you want to learn more detail of the great Chuck Finley. My favorite all-time pitcher, by the way, the Angels. I used to love watching him play. But first, we're going to get into a little bit of the news. What do you guys think about that? Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Now, do you remember this guy? He's kind of the Prince of Eternia, Prince Adam from He-Man. It's the hair. I don't know who told this guy that was the way to go, but that's the way he went. Anyway, he received a memorable welcome from an ostrich at a state park in Texas. He was in his vehicle, and the ostrich poked his head in through and took a little nip at him. When the massive two-legged bird, how many birds do you know have 4 legs? Be honest with me, or 6 or 3. No, they all have 2. Why they needed to make the point that this bird had 2 legs is beyond me. But anyway, well, maybe the 4-legged birds were the ones that they didn't allow onto the ark, right? Along with the unicorns. Don't let that unicorn in. He's got a hard one. Anyway, this ostrich stuck his head in and took a peck at old Boris's hand. And his wife, Carrie Johnson, thought it was just too funny. So she recorded it and put it on the Instagram for all of us to enjoy. So thank God for that. When asked about this, Boris replied, "I haven't been poked like that since I got dry hump from a mastiff at the Crufts International Dog Show." I don't know if anybody remembers that. I sure don't, and glad I never did see that. But, we'll move on. The Galapagos tortoise at the Philadelphia Zoo, City of Philadelphia Zoo. Now, this is these are Galapagos tortoises. These are those big giant ones you can actually sit on. They can ride you around. They're really cool. And they last a long time. Anyway, they became parents at nearly 100 years old. These 2 old fogies knocked it out and had some kids. The zoo's very excited about this because, well, they're an endangered species. So they're going to take very good care of these eggs, make sure they hatch and everybody's healthy, and they keep these animals around. So, but because of this, it's creating a buzz, and everybody around the nation's wanting to swing by and check these turtles out. Even celebrities. I don't know if you remember the great Al Pacino was even seen there, and he was seen actually at the enclosure, screaming at the enclosure, which was really strange, yelling things like, "That turtle's got nothing on my Roman. These turtles want to show me up. Not on my watch. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. No, get in here. You know, she's ovulating. We're going to show these turtles who the dominant species is." Hoo-ah! And that was Al Pacino. A Missouri foster mother has been charged with child abuse and endangerment as authorities investigate. She was investigating her trading an adopted daughter to someone for a monkey. Can you imagine this? Now, it's insane. But anyway, that's what they're investigating right now. And they're also mistreating other children in her care. The 70-year-old woman has been jailed on $250,000 bond. Since her arrest last weekend, the children are now in proper care and are safe. So thank goodness for that. No word yet on the whereabouts of the monkey and what's been going on with that. Sorry, wrong picture. the whereabouts of the monkey. They haven't found him yet. They're looking for him, and they're still investigating this and seeing if the story is even true. It could possibly be true, and that's scary if you think about it. I mean, for someone to be traded in for an animal like that, that's sort of crazy world we live in, right? Anyway, and that's the news as far as I found interesting. Anyway, that's happened in the past week. Let's move on to our Angels baseball history. Who wants to jump into the Wayback Machine? We're gonna go all the way back to the great early years of Mr. Chucketh Finley. Actually, I'm gonna give you his full name. Born Charles Edward Finley, November 26th of 1962 in Monroe, Louisiana. Now, Chuck was raised in his family nursery and landscaping business, and where they worked, it was a physically demanding job. They were all, all hands on deck, digging and tilling soil and planting trees and stuff like that. A lot of hard work. That's how he grew up. His father, Charles Ellis Finley, who is also nicknamed Big Chuck, which I like, who died sadly in 2004, wasn't afraid to give his boy Chuck a good old kick in the pants, if you know what I mean, to teach him a lesson. Old school fathering. I think the Generation X is probably the last group of people who raise their kids like that, or someone like that. Anyway, doesn't seem like that happens anymore nowadays. But anyway, and it helped him. It helped him with just to teach him to allow his son to make his own decisions and to understanding consequences to your actions and stuff like that. So very, very. I got bit by something. Old school parenting, but effective, right? Anyway, Chuck Finley said, "My dad wanted me to play sports, but he never pressured me to do anything. He just said, have fun with it." So pretty good attitude to have. That kind of mentality set him on his way to his baseball career. When Finn was 14, he wanted to quit his youth baseball team. After he was told that he couldn't play a certain position, Chuck left the field telling his father that he was done, and he walked back to their truck, sat inside the truck. Well, Dad let him cool off for about 20 minutes. Then he went back over there, and while the game was starting, and he went over there and he told him, "Okay, Finn, take off your uniform and give it back to the coach." Finn's like, "Dad, I only have a t-shirt and underwear on right now. I'm not going to do that." He's up. You got to take care of business. Take off that uniform, give it back to your coach. So he kind of looked at him and he was like, "Well, I can't even imagine walking across all these people with just a t-shirt and underwear." So Finn went over there, sat down on the bench, and his dad told him, "Well, you know what? You need to get your butt back over there on the bench, and you need to sit down and shut up. And when the game's over, apologize to all your coaches and all your teammates for quitting on them like you did." So Finn learned that you just couldn't quit on things. You needed to finish it out, whatever you start. So that pretty rough, not too rough of a lesson, but a pretty good lesson taught by his dad there. Chuck Finley was ambidextrous. I don't know if anybody knew this. He was able to throw right and left, but he thinks his dad wanted him to throw left because he bought him a left-handed glove. So he thinks that's what his dad wanted him to do. So he went ahead with that and started throwing left-handed. His mom and dad would take him to games and sit out in the left field with lawn chairs. The whole family would show up. It was a pretty humble, summertime baseball in West Monroe, Louisiana, where he grew up. Even back then, Chuck threw so hard, they said the umpire would put his leg behind the catcher to hold him from being knocked over. So Chuck had an arm on him even way back then. He was a solid pitcher in his high school years. He was at West Monroe High School. He was 7-0 as a senior, and he earned a chance to pitch at Louisiana Tech. In college, he played a season at Louisiana Tech, going 2-0 in 1981 before becoming disgruntled and quitting, going back to work for his family business. So wasn't working for him. He just didn't see it going any further than that, and he decided to stop. But Big Chuck was very disappointed. He knew what his son was capable of doing. So Chuck said that he wasn't very vocal about it, but he could tell he was disappointed. He saw a future for his son, and Chuck just didn't see it at that time. His father put him to work, and he worked him hard. So he went back to the family business, and his father let him feel it. He worked him as hard as every other employee that worked there. It was hard labor, Chuck said. He had a nursery, and that meant 120-degree hothouse in the summer. It was planting planting bushes, stuff I'd done all my life. He was worked just as hard as everybody else, like I just said. When he enrolled to, he ended up enrolling to Northeast Louisiana University. He could tell Big Chuck was proud that his son didn't let these years go by. So he had enough of the hard labor. He thought, you know what, I think I'm going to go back to school and continue this, because I don't see me going any further with this, I guess. Playing baseball over hard labor, I'd probably take that too. Finley joined the Major League Baseball team. I'm sorry. Yes, he ended up joining the Louisiana. I'm spitting all over everywhere now. He joined the Louisiana University baseball team as a walk-on. He went 4-5 with a 3.91 ERA in 1984 and finished 2-2 with a 4.90 ERA in 1985. Louisiana Monroe baseball coach Jeff Schexnayder, I hope I pronounced that correctly. You could always count on him. He was a great teammate and a hard worker. Chuck Finley was always known as a blue-collar baseball player, blue-collar pitcher. Always showed up, never missed. This is when he started to get letters from pro teams and pro scouts. So that's when the big time started happening, Chuck Finley was drafted by the California Angels in the 15th round of the 1984 Major League Baseball June Amateur Draft from the University of Louisiana Monroe. And then on the first round, 4th of the 1985 Major League Baseball January Draft Secondary phase. Never in my wildest dreams did I think about becoming a pro, Finn said. I just wanted to be a competitive college pitcher. I was just having fun and absorbing everything. Once Finley entered the majors, he found himself pitching batting practice to the likes of Reggie Jackson. Can you imagine that? You're in your hometown, you're playing in university, you're hitting the big time for your hometown, right? People are showing up at your games, watching you, the buzz is about you, how good you are. Next thing you know, you're up pitching for Reggie Jackson. That's amazing. I used to love watching that guy as a kid. That's for sure. It was so freaking surreal, Chuck said. It happened so fast that I didn't have time to think about it. If I did, I'd probably screw it up, he said. Finley appeared in 25 games as a rookie, going 3-1 with a 4.10 ERA. The Angels were a World Series contender at the time, but they fell short with Donnie Moore's allowed home run. We all know of that one to Dave Henderson from the Red Sox. That was a very disappointing end of that season. Chuck Finley pitched 17 years from 1986 to 2002, 14 years with the California Angels, 2.5 with the Cleveland Indians, and a half a year with the St. Louis Cardinals. At 6'6", although he'll tell you he's 6'8", 220 pounds, the lefty has 200 wins, 173 losses career in his Major League Baseball career, 2,610 strikeouts, and a ERA of 3.85 career. Pretty impressive. He was definitely a workhorse. You could always count on Chuck to show up and pitch for the win. That's for sure. Finn for the win, they used to say. He was a 5-time All-Star for the Angels. Five-time All-Star for his career in 1988, 1990, 95, 96, and in 2000. His best year with the Angels was in 1990, where he went 18-9 with a 2.40 ERA at the age of 27. He holds Angels records. He has 379 games started. 165 wins, 140 losses. Innings pitched 2,675. These are all with the Angels. He played his last game with the St. Louis Cardinals. We were told you that was the team he finished off with on September 28th, 2002. I think about this all the time. Can you imagine if he just stood an Angel his entire career? He would have finally got a ring in 2002 with the Angels. He would have definitely helped that pitching rotation, even though that pitching rotation was great at the time, and we obviously were successful. But imagine to have Chuck Finley in there as well to help us through. For him to be able to be on that team and get that ring with the Angels and be his whole entire career like Tim Salmon with only the Angels, that would have been great. I would have loved that. What a great ending that would have been to his career. That would have been awesome. He was inducted into the Angels Hall of Fame on August 27th, 2009, along Angels great Brian Downing. Now, I've had there was a lot of baseball games I went to where Chuck was pitching. I always looked out to see if he was pitching. If I was going to a game, he was always my favorite, especially when he was the years with him with Mark Langston and Jim Abbott, the three-headed monster, the Gamera of pitching, if you will. These guys were just great times during the early and mid 90s. I remember Chuck Finley, even in the late 90s when we went to the periwinkle uniforms and the winged A, where Chuck Finley bleached his hair out blonde. I guess kind of like I don't know if it was a look he was going for, or if he was trying to rally guys up or whatever. But he got me so fired up that I bleached my hair blonde, and I wore the hat. That's how big of a fan I was. So I was walking around like a moron with bleached hair, and it wasn't a good look for me, but it looked cool on him. He always had that kind of a cool look to him anyway. Anyway, yeah, so Chuck Finley, like I said, real quick history on him, his earlier years in the University of Louisiana, growing up in Monroe with his family, his dad being a huge influence on his life, on how he was raised and how just being a person, also his work ethic on how he became a pitcher and how he continued to play baseball, and how his dad was just always right there for him to give him that little push. So really cool story. I thought that was really neat. It was a lot of the stuff on there I did not know about him. So I think that's why I found it so interesting, wanted to bring it on. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today as far as the history is concerned. But yeah, Chuck Finley, that's, whew, I remember I think I've told the story before, but there was a game. I think it was in 95. Yeah, it was probably 95. I was with a buddy of mine. We went and Chuck was pitching and he was having a horrible game. I think he had runners on second and third. I don't even think he had an out yet. He was just throwing. It just was not his day. And he was frustrated. He was very frustrated. So they came and pulled him out of the game. And it was in the fourth inning. And they pulled him. And he was so pissed off. He was walking towards the dugout. And I saw him take his mitt off. And he fired it about 10 to 12 rows into the crowd. Some lucky guy caught that. Hopefully he got it signed by him. But I'll never forget watching that thinking, whoa, this guy just, and he stormed into the dugout and he was pissed, man. He was hot that day. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. He was he had a bad day that day. But I'll tell you what, nonetheless, I loved going to the stadium. Loved when he was on the mound. It was just, those are just good times. Really missed that guy as a pitcher. I would love to see blue collar pitchers like that more nowadays with the teams we have now. But anyway, we're gonna go to see. We're check and see what we got going on for this next week. And keep hitting the back of my head on this thing. Jeez. So yeah, we blew it with Houston, but it's okay. We're looking good. We're gonna continue on. We got the Texas Rangers, so we're gonna stay down there in the great state of Texas. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Everybody remember Pee Wee Herman? So the Texas Rangers, we got a game on Tuesday, so we're gonna have today off, a little bit of a break, gather ourselves after that loss and get ourselves together. And we're going to start on Tuesday at 5 o'clock against the Texas Rangers. We're going to go again on Wednesday at 5 o'clock, same time against the Rangers again, of course. And we're going to get them again at 5 o'clock again on Thursday. So 3 straight games, 5 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Don't forget Angels versus Rangers in Arlington. Then we're going to head over to San Francisco. We're going to head over there and we're going to, actually, no, I'm sorry. We're going back to Angel Stadium. Read this whole thing wrong. The Giants are coming to the Big A. Okay. And that's going to be Friday, April 18th at 6:38. On Saturday, April 19th at 6:38. And don't forget April 19th. That's the event with Halos in the Infield down at the stadium. So don't forget that. And then also on Sunday at April 20th at 1:07. So we got 3 games against the Rangers at Arlington, Texas, and 3 games against the Giants at the Big A. Are you heading down to the Big A? Are you going to go on down there on the 19th on Saturday and hang out with Todd Fox and all the other guys from Halos in the Infield? Are you going to go there and root your Angels on? They're playing good right now. It's fun to watch them. Not getting too excited. I don't think they're going to go too far this year. I would be very, very happy with a 500 season, just as an improvement over the last couple of years. So I would be happy with that. But I'm not looking at postseason. I'm not looking at anything in the playoffs or anything further than that. But as far as the way we're playing right now, putting wins together, playing quality games, not getting blown out every time, not absent at the plate, they look like they're playing. So it's entertaining to watch and it's fun, especially with our young guys. We got some young guys. That Kyrie Paris, right? Everybody loves that guy. Whew. I think we got some good youngins coming up, man. I'm getting a little excited. If we could only trade our owner. that'd be perfect, right? But anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I got to I think I have I don't have an outro, which I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Still in the works here with this show. Little changes here and there. You notice I have a different intro at the beginning. Thank you, Randy, the producer to the Stars, for making that for me there. I think he has something else in mind too, but we'll be working on it and changing things up for you guys anyway. So during the year to make things interesting. So we'll see what happens, right? Anyway, again, thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed, to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I'm going to tell you why. We come on Monday through Friday giving you everything you need to know about the Angels baseball team that you love so much. You have me with the history of the Angels. You have Dominic with the minor league system. He gives you all the news you need to know about the minor leagues. You have the great James Gonzalez speaking on the around the league and major league. So if you want to know about the other teams that are going, what's going on with the Mets, what's going on with Tampa Bay, he's got all the news and everything you need to know about what's going on around the league. It's a great show. Check it out. We also have, of course, we have our new guy Vince, the the cowboy Halo, or the Halo cowboy. He's our cowboy, our resident cowboy, our cowpoke, and he's here with Fernando, and they're going over their hot takes. And we got Todd Fox with Fernando as well. We also they're talking about all the up to date baseball, Angels baseball news that's happening, breaking news and stuff like that. And we also have Todd Fox's post-game show at the end of every single game. He comes on after the baseball game. This is why the notification bell is so important. It does chirp you and let you know when our shows come on, usually in the morning, Monday through Friday. But at the end of the baseball game, shortly after, that notification bell goes off, and that lets you know that Todd Fox is about to come on with the post-game. That is the most fun post-game show you will watch. I dare you to watch any other one. His is the best. He interacts with his fans. You're in the chat. Everybody's in there talking. He's got great videos, great songs. He has great rants, great information on the team. He covers everything. And you call the show, ask him a question, talk to him. It's a great show. So don't miss it. That notification bell goes off. You jump on YouTube and you watch it. It's live. It's an awesome thing. Gets everybody together, gets everybody fired up. So yeah, again, don't forget, notification bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on my video if you liked it. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully it didn't suck because I didn't have my slideshow for you. I'm so sorry. But anyway, I thank you guys for showing up, and I thank you guys for being around. You guys are the best. Let's keep this rolling. And like I said, let's get in the habit of hitting those like buttons, guys. You guys have any questions for me, or you want me to cover anything specifically, go ahead and leave a comment down the bottom on the bottom here, and let me know if there's something you'd like to, me to talk about, or if there's a question you have, or if you just want to ask me something. Doesn't matter. I don't care. But go ahead, leave that comment down the bottom, and I'll answer you right back. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you coming. See you next week. Go Angels.
Brought to you by 714 Tickets in Anaheim, your trusted source for Angels tickets at unbeatable prices with no hidden fees. Whether it's home or away, they've got your seat covered. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, or online at 714tickets.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your purchase. And Brewheim, Anaheim's premier craft brewery, pouring fresh, locally brewed beers in a welcoming atmosphere for Angels fans and beer lovers alike. Stop by their tap room at 1931 East Wright Circle, Anaheim, or check them out at brewheim.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your tab. The OC Dugout, your one-stop shop for officially licensed Angels memorabilia, custom jersey framing, and exclusive autograph signings with your favorite players. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street, Anaheim, or online at theocdugout.com. Support the businesses that support Halos in the infield.